I forgot to hit the microphone. So all the speakers just went loud. I always mess up 3 things every live. That was number 1. Oh, it's feisty this morning. This is gremlin mode for Longo. You're going to get to see him a little hyper today. He wants to play so bad. He was a little calm when I put him up here a second ago. Now he's kind of got into that let me down stage. So let's say one day you get Longo sleeping, the next day you get him all riled up. And you are riled up today. So happy Friday. I hope everybody's doing good. If it is your Friday. If it's not your Friday, sorry. If it is your Friday, yay. We got a weekend coming ahead. No hurricane over there, Tracy. So we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, X, MWPchat.com, and TikTok. And I try to read all the comments except for X. But welcome, world. This is little Longo. And he's doing really good. He's 11 weeks old now. And I don't think he's grew much. He's still a little guy. Look how little he is compared to Dad. So we got a little bit to talk about. We do. We got a little bit of Tropics. Yeah, I have a feeling when I let him down, he's going to end up chewing something. Hopefully not my ear. He just wants to go. He wants to go cause trouble. He's probably going to start attacking his brother. He just doesn't know when to stop sometimes, do you, buddy? When you give me a kiss? Oh, you just a good boy. He's just so cute. Look at it. He's like, let me down. I'm going to get something. I got to get something. I want you all to see gremlin mode before I let him down. Ready? This is gremlin mode. When he wants down and I don't let him down, he starts Rawr. You're not going to do it, are you? Because you know that you got in trouble. That's right. You got in trouble. You don't want to be gremlin mode. No. Okay, go play with your brother. Woo, I got through it. I didn't know if I was going to get through it or not. He just ran right over there. Oh, he just jumped right in the banana bed. Well, anyway, we just talk shenanigans. If you're just tuning in first time, welcome. We just kind of ramble on for a good 45 minutes, hour. We're going to talk about the Tropics. Got a little something to talk about possibly in the next week, so we'll talk about that. Nothing to stress about at all. No worries. If you're new to the page, I like to look long range. A lot of things pan out. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. But when the signal starts getting strong, I'll start talking about it more. And it looks like we got a little something maybe popping into the Caribbean, possibly the first week of August. Good morning, Keen. We got George over in Corpus Christi. Made a few trips to Texas, chasing storms a couple times. Drove through all the little roads in and out. Kind of know the roads. What's up, James? How's it going? How's your Karen doing? Morning, Bobby. Morning. Ms. Bobby Blobby. Richard Reimer. Good morning. How's it cooking? Everybody doing good? Hope so. August 1st, Tracy. Yep, that's what we're going to talk about. You chase storms too. All right. Well, that's cool. So our little system in the Gulf obviously didn't pan out. It's still 10%. Very sloppy. Running out of time. Only 10%. We'll talk about that a little bit. A little bit of rain. Not a lot of rain. Never really had a lot of rain. I thought it would with all that precipitable water, but it really never had a lot. We had a few isolated here and there, but nothing accumulated. It was moving too fast. Too much wind shear. So, Jacksonville Beach says 104. Woo! Hot. Janine, good morning. Cape Coral. A lot of friends and MWPs down that way. What's up, Bobby? Perdido Key, Tim? I assume that's in the Key West, right? I think I asked you that before. I didn't remember. All right, what's cooking? All right, so it is Friday. That means if you are in Florida and you like adult beverages, you better make your way to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Good friends of mine, good supporters of MWP now going on, I think, 7 years. I keep saying 6, but I believe this is the 7th year in a row now. So, cheers to ABC. Yes. Hey, big news yesterday. There is the can. Second year of Spaghetti Model IPA will be available all throughout the state here. Of course, at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. We're doing a release party here locally at Tampa Bay Brewing Company on Friday, the August 29th, as long as there's no storms. From 5 to 7, it's free, so I'd love to, it's in the Panhandle. Love to see you come hang out. But this year's can's a little different. We got a little tribute to Little Hunter. Got a nice little story on the side of the can with Hunter, and we actually got a Hunter airplane all the way from Lakeland, Florida on the can. So we got any hurricane hunters out there? This is for you. So excited. Great flavor. Same flavor as last year. And look forward to that. Sold out last year. Don't wait this year. Here's the look at Tropics. We do actually, yes, we do. It's the 4th beer now we've had. This is the 2nd year of Spaghetti Model IPA. Morning, Brian Davis. Yeah, Spaghetti Model. Imagine that. Doesn't taste like spaghetti. So there's a little spinach in the Western Gulf. That's our system that they were watching. It's only 10%. A lot of dry air coming up around it. A lot of high pressure drying things out. Not a lot of rain. We got a little blob down here heading to Belize. We got anybody in Belize watching? Hey, I just found out some awesome news. Margaritaville is now going to Belize. Can you Belize it? Gotta go to Belize. It's on my bucket list. Old Town, Florida. Where the heck's that at? I think it's up north, right? Yeah, we had big storms here yesterday, man. We had severe thunderstorms in Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco. Sarah from Glasgow, New York. That's pretty awesome. Boynton Beach, 85, already 105. It is hot. We're going to talk about that hot for sure. So there's that. All right, so not a lot cooking. We got a little storm action to the north. We're going to have a big old heat bubble the next several days here. We'll talk about that. Well, let's talk about the tropics here in a second. So here's what the official tropics map this morning looks like from the National Hurricane Center, and that's all we got. We talked about a wraparound next week. Could be looking at deja vu again. None of the models are showing much development except moisture returns for the 3rd time. It's a three-peat of high pressure spinning around moisture next week. So not seeing a lot of development of that. There were a few little signs around the first, here, but it hasn't been solid enough. A few individual runs were showing something possibly brewing here, but nothing official. Being that it's the first, that would be within a 7-day window, and the National Hurricane Center isn't talking about it. So I think that's not really enough to hype up too much yet. But we do have a wave that I'm going to talk a lot about that's showing up that could be around the first, somewhere around here. We'll talk about that. So this is only official. That's all. Posted my little picture last night. I get 100 comments a day, folks saying the season's a bust, season's over. But you know what? It happens every year. And it's okay to think that. But July typically is extremely slow, and our real season doesn't really get going until August, September, October or so. We'll see if it's a slow season or not at the end of the season. But I don't think it's going to be. We're going to be in that La Nina neutral pattern. We got water's warming up, basically all the ingredients. So we'll see. We'll see, but it's not good to believe that the season's over yet. Till it ain't. That's right, Josh. It only takes one. We all get worried about Busy traffic in Orlando. Very, couple rain storms again today. Very isolated. You don't know where they're at. La Nina, yes. But, we all, majority of people, I didn't turn my sounds off. What didn't I do? What sounds? Shelley, what are you talking about? Hello, Miss Shelley, by the way. Hey, Camp Margaritaville. What's up, Ronald? We love Camp Margaritaville. Oh, that sound. Oh, yeah. We got a spammer. I wonder if I could do that. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Holy cow. I wonder if I can. I could turn that off or not. I haven't really figured that out. It doesn't give me an option. I can translate. I can send it. Hey, Barry Hill. What's up, David? So anyway, we all get wrapped up in the number of storms. In reality, it only takes one. Don't need a lot of names. A lot of storms end up being fish storms. We've actually had a pretty impactful year, believe it or not. Barry was part of the problems that we saw in Texas with the flooding, and Chantel brought a lot of flooding to the Carolinas. All right, so they posted this yesterday. Look at that. Holy cow, the whole half the country is red. That's hazardous heat coming. That's our high pressure. Hazardous. It's more summer coming. But we do have some pretty big temperatures, and we might break a record in Tampa. Tampa's never officially had a 100-degree day. Ever. Joe from Folly Beach, good morning. Susan from Tampa Bay, good morning. Teresa. Scalloping, you look fine. Cedar Key area, you look awesome. You look excellent, SR. Just an isolated little pop-up here and there. They don't last very often. Gulf County, hey, good morning there. Gulf County Sheriff's Office. Got to be on good behavior now. Anyway, a lot of heat coming. High pressure going to dominate. I know. Everybody's like, it's summer, it's summer. I know it's summer. But hey, if we didn't have weather to talk about, what do we talk about? So that's the big outlook going in the next couple of days. So what's it going to be like? Well, I'll tell you what. Monday, I'm telling you, Monday's going to be hot. Like, I know it's summer. You don't have to remind me. But that's hot. These are actual temperatures for Monday, and these are a blended model. So sometimes they're underdone. They're undercooked sometimes because it kind of blends them all together. It doesn't do extreme. So we're going to have extreme temperatures somewhere higher and lower than what the average is. And the Euro is showing 99 in St. Pete and 99 over there in Hillsborough on Monday. So we might end up with 100 degrees in Tampa. Look at all these hundreds though. 101 in Tallahassee, 101 in Jacksonville. We got 100. Almost the whole state of South Carolina is going to be in the hundreds. Even hundreds up into Carolina, North Carolina. Hundreds in Georgia. 103 somewhere in the middle around Augusta. That's Monday. You're a line wife, Kristen. Well, heck yeah. From Iowa. So your husband works a lot of deratios, I bet, right? Dureco. All right, here's your rainfall forecast. Got a little bit of lingering leftovers tomorrow, Saturday, around the upper Gulf there. You can see that. Could be a couple isolated, decent little rains. Mama Kim, it does seem a little hotter. I don't know. I mean, it does feel hot. Oh, God, I just messed up. Darn it. Man, I can't figure out my damn... I'm an Android guy, and I tried to load my TikTok on my Android because it didn't like me logging in with 2 accounts. So There we go. Okay, cool. Somebody just sent me a heart, whatever that means. Whoa. So now we're back. Hey, Keith from Puerto Rico. We got a little something coming your way. Arkansas. I got a lot of friends that live in Arkansas. Jamie. Billy K. What's up, buddy? Fred. It's hot. It's going to be hot up there Monday, Fred. Hot. And dry. All right, here's the rainfall forecast for the weekend. Just thought this was interesting to put out there. We got almost nothing. I don't believe that little Sunday blob. That's just basically telling you there's going to be an isolated shower somewhere on Sunday, but very isolated. So if you got weekend plans, it's looking pretty awesome as far as rain goes. It's going to be hot, but hey, it's nice to be able to plan on things and not worry about a lot of rain. So Sunday we're going to take the boat out and watch Emily play softball down in I think she's playing somewhere south, Pinellas County somewhere. But we're going to take the boat out. So there's that. All right. Here's the moisture map. It's kind of showing you. We got a little blob nearing the, this blob right here was the one that was kind of showing signs of maybe doing something. None of the models are consistent with it. So it's not really being watched officially. But it is kind of juicy this morning. We got the blob of rain here in the Yucatan and Belize. That's not really showing signs of anything. But what we're looking at is this area right here. We're starting to see a lot more blues and a lot more whites and greens and less dry air, basically. So we're going to keep an eye on this right here. European long-range outlooks showing you this area as possibly going into the first week of August. Possibly developing. So that's what we're going to talk about. That's then the following week it doesn't show anything. So it definitely kind of highlights the fact that we got something. Then as we get into the end of August, it's obviously picking up more and more. That's more climatology right there. But we have a little bit of coverage here. This is a cool little FSU website that blends all the models together, and it points out the Euro is starting to show something here, looking long range in the middle Atlantic. And this morning I posted this graphic. This is your European blend of models and your GFS blend of models. And it's continuing to show this August 1st. So if you're living in the islands, we have a lot of people in the islands, Barbados and the Lesser Antilles and the Virgin Islands and the Puerto Rico and all that area. Definitely, they like to know what could be coming. So August 1st, it would be nearing this area. And then what it does, if it does anything, we're going to talk about it. But that's what we got. I'm pretty intrigued by the consistency of the models. Let's look at this real quick. This is weathernerds.org. This is your showing you the formation. Let's stop it right here. Stop. All right, this is the 31st. Now, remember, there was a lot of people sharing this one model run that was showing something here, even in the keys on the 31st and the 1st, but there's really not a lot of support. So those individual runs sometimes are not really worth posting if there's not a lot of support. So, but it is from that wave that's nearing the islands currently. But this is the wave starting to show a lot more support. This is the 31st. Well, actually, it's the 30th. OOZ 30th. So it's the 30th. But if we go in time, you see, And remember, the Euro doesn't really pick up intensity. Okay, so somebody was giving me a hard time. They're like, why are you posting that it's all 1,000 millibars? Well, because low pressure centers are what we track. The Euro doesn't do a really decent job of intensity forecast. But, it is showing you the basic pattern here. It only goes out 10 days on this model. So 10 days. Yeah. It is the season. Couple things that I've been noting this season a lot. We've had a lot of stalled frontal lines that have been producing these systems that come back around because high pressure to the north. These frontal lines have been driving our high pressure just a little bit more off to the east, just a little bit. And these systems all are determined on the high pressure. We get a strong high pressure here, the systems usually do that. High pressure has been very strong this season, meaning more push off to the west. And in years past, when we have El Nino, you have a lot of wind shear down here, and that always tends to create very unstable high pressure, and we get a lot of fish storms in years of El Nino. Like 2023, we had a lot of fish storms. 2023, we had 20 storms that year. Fourth largest season ever in 2023, but only one impacted pretty much anybody, and that was Idalia, because we had a lot of wind shear that year and a very weak high, and all the storms pretty much were fish storms. So 19 were really nothing. Well, Harold was a weak system that came to Texas, and I think we had Ophelia or something like that. But anyway, the years that we saw like last year, you have a stronger high, and you have a lot more chance for systems to go that direction. And that was a La Nina neutral pattern last year too. So anyway, what I've been noticing this year though is these fronts. So that might give us a temporary little pull, but then the high builds back in. And if you remember, a couple weeks ago I shared a graphic that showed a lot of history of storms doing this. We did Dorian, Andrew, Francis, Gene. Those were all storms that formed basically north of the Caribbean and eventually kind of turned back a little bit. So, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying this area here, if I had a gut feeling of the pattern we're in so far, it's going to be a building high pressure, a lift and then a turn. Now, Florence did that year too. Remember, Florence kept doing this? We get a little weak and then a high, then a weak, then a high, and the high pressure builds back in and shoves it more west. So, anyway, just a little throwing that out there. Nobody can predict Mother Nature, that's for sure. Here's your latest 15-day ensembles, okay? So we're going to look at that. Hey, Shelly just got a number 2 glitter badge. Bobby, that's interesting. It's still 94. Yeah, it's bubbling a little more than I thought, actually. Morning, Harold. Glory, good morning. Jay, yeah, Sharks. What's up, Chris? More Mr. Sherman. You popped in at the end last time. All right, so let's look at the 15-day ensembles. These are, so a little education here. Friday, we'll talk about ensembles. Ensembles are great. I didn't know much about ensembles years ago. I just posted individual runs. So when you see the Euro run, there's 51 little brains that run its thinking, and then the Euro operation usually takes a blend of those 51s and makes its best operational run. So it's cool to look at the 51 members of the Euro, because if they start to get a majority thinking or a path, then confidence is kind of high. So we don't have tremendous support yet. We have maybe 10, 20%, maybe 50% of the Euros. But the pattern has been this little bit of turn and lift. So that's kind of what we've been seeing. Here's the 15-day outlook. And again, if you look at timing, like I said, here's kind of when it starts getting close. This is the 1st of August. So, there's your 15-day there. We look at yesterday's 12Z. We had, there, yesterday's OZ, 12Z. Now, it's pretty consistent signal. Here's last night's 00Z. So, zero stress, zero canceling plans, zero, oh my God, what about the Keys on August the 10th? None of this is anything other than, hey, we might have something to watch. And we start looking at patterns. We start looking at steering conditions. The Western Atlantic, the reason I keep bringing that up, it's the hottest so far. This is on Tropical Tidbits, but this is your anomaly map on temperatures. And, we got some of the warmest temperatures here in this Western Atlantic. So we, obviously the Gulf's always warm. It's warming up fast. The Caribbean's a little cooler than normal or a little cooler. We've had a lot of winds down there this season so far. And that's kind of kept the water temperatures the same, or new normal. But the thing you got to realize, normal is still bad. I show Andrew a lot. Andrew formed under normal water temperatures for that time of year. So you can't say, the waters are cooler. They're cooler than what they were last year, but they're still 85, 86 degrees. Here's my buddies at Mike Clay and crew. They're Clystrong 9, but you can see they're still 84, 83. Still plenty hot. And really what matters most is the ocean heat content, and that's the water temperatures below the surface. And those are really starting to warm up. So sea surface temperatures are one thing. It's the OHC below the surface, and we have a lot of ocean heat content on both sides of the Caribbean, and in the Caribbean and on the north side of that. So other models here, let's take a look at European AI. Last night's 18Z Euro AI was spread all over the internet because it showed a bad storm hitting Florida, but then the next run it didn't. So anomaly, yeah, Bobby, you saw it. The joke was that the Euro AI is the new 18Z GFS, because the 18Z GFS used to always run the worst case scenario. But hey, the Euro AI isn't that bad. Here's the Euro AI thinking, and ironically, it's kind of doing that lift and turn. So, you know, does that make sense, Bobby? These temporary little lifts and turns, high builds back in and shoves it a little bit back. So that's kind of a weird pattern. Chet, I can show you the temperature. See, Kelsey, great question. Kelsey. You got a 4 next to your name too, so I really appreciate you watching us. So believe it or not, Kelsey, and everybody, it's normal to think the season's slow right now, okay? Every year because we had a busy year last year, there was a lot of hype this season about expos, just a lot of May news on the season. And then we always have a slow June, July. That's historically normal. And that's just the way it goes. And everybody gets like so amped up thinking we're going to have a busy season. It's July. We've had nothing per se. We've had 3 storms. So I get it. It's not, we are not even close. August 20th is Dr. Bell's date that all activity seems like starts the end of August. So normal third system. So from 1991 to 2020, the average third named system was August 3rd. So we were already ahead of that. So it's okay. Enjoy the quiet. So there was the latest 18Z 15-day, 10 days that, if we had something brewing 10 days, it'd be August 3rd, somewhere around here, possibly 10 days from now. 15-day anomalies go out there. Yesterday's 12Z, a little bit more in the Gulf or Atlantic, and yesterday's 00Z, more lift there. So the only difference with the latest is a little bit more. What was I showing before? What the hell was up there before? Did they just change? Well, I had a model that had a lot more. I don't know what it was. There was some run that had a lot of blue but not any red. Oh. Could have swore it looked different than that. I don't know what I was looking at. I'm going to have to go back and hit replay because there was a different Euro AI. Weird. Because even if it was in my cache, it would have been. Anyway. All right. Well, there's what you got. All right. Then let's look at the GFS ensembles here. I won't forget the Andrew comparison here in a second. And then we'll look at the Caribbean and look at 15-day. And it's not showing much. Showing a couple get going up here. Basically 10 days out, something here around August the 1st right here. This will be August 1st. So Euro or GFS isn't really showing much. So there you go. Nothing, just mostly. There is some dust. I looked at the dust map earlier. There was some dust. Let's look at individual runs real quick. And then we'll look at maybe the weekend weather, and then we'll go from there. Oh, Shelly just. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I was dreaming things. Oh man. Okay, cool. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Power bills? Oh man, mine's 600. That's 450 is nothing. Yep, Ian, you're correct, man. We've had a lot of winds down there in that Caribbean this year coming across that main development region, so they're bound to slow down a little bit. The trends are that way. All right, so let's look at all the individual runs here on Tropical Tidbits. There's a lot of folks sharing this last night. There was something around the first around here, but we'll see that that's not really showing up. It's not showing up on ensemble runs, but here is that little blob crossing the islands that's out there now. And if you kind of keep your eye on that blue, that's low pressure. And the latest run maybe mingles with next week's three-peat of that frontal area wrapping around. You can see that blue. This is next Tuesday. So we're going to have deja vu, moisture coming back around again to the upper Gulf, and maybe combining with that wave that was down there now. But anyway, here's the one that we're going to keep an eye on. This is August the 1st. There's the GFS, August the 1st. And it shows a little development this time around. That's actually new. That's the 6C. And it, crosses the islands, Jamaica. This is the 3rd. And gets it into the Gulf, and it kind of fizzles it out. A little bit of sign right here. So weaker usually goes west a little bit, but it is showing it here on the 6th. And that's consistent with everybody else. All right, so let's look at last night's 00Z. There's our little spot, August the 2nd, August the 1st, and it takes it down in the Caribbean. And there's a lot of wind shear down there this time of year. They call that the Caribbean graveyard. It pops out on the BOC over here. That's what Harvey did. And then remember Harvey got going again and it lifted up north. So never take your eye off these little guys, that's for sure. So that's showing more of a weaker west system down by the islands. That's the last 2 runs. Let's look at the latest Euro run, showing you that low pressure on 31st, and it gets it going here. Here's the first on the Euro. There it is. And it kind of keeps it, well, and then look at the Gulf too. This is that low pressure frontal lingering front this weekend, or next weekend actually. This is that, what we've been talking about, that leftover frontal line that could try to get something going. And I'm going to show you the MJO. The MJO is in an enhanced phase this time now, so that's definitely always an enabler of systems to get going. But here we go. This is the second, third, and then it kind of brings the moisture up. Doesn't really organize it, but if it did, it'd be the 4th or 5th, the 6th. So definitely something to keep an eye on as trends continue. Yesterday's 12Z showed there's your low on the 1st. Didn't really develop it until maybe the Bahamas. This is the 4th, and it kind of stalls it out. Front line picks it up. So classic pattern, but hey, it's consistent. Canadian model, I don't think showing it. They're showing a low Friday, August the 1st. That's a leftover three-peat of what we've been watching so much of. Frontal line lingers, spins back around some moisture in the upper Gulf following weekend. And then a little blob right here kind of shows a little bit of moisture there, possibly. It's not really showing it. The Canadian not really showing it yet. There's a little spot there, the 31st. Maybe a little wave. You can see it right here in the MDR. And it's got a little something there, August the 1st. And you can see it wrap around that high pressure area and kind of get up here in the Bahamas on the 3rd and 4th. So not really showing much. A couple other models we want to look at before 10 o'clock. And I got motivation, man. I got to get some work done outside. I hope I keep that motivation. It might take a Red Bull or two. All right, so let's take a look at the UK and look at the 00Z. We're going to see if the UK is showing anything at all. Usually pretty good model on stuff. You can see the lowering pressures here, the 28th, starting to get lower here the 29th. Little bubble right here on the 30th, indicating our wave. Bobby would call those little baby bumps. That's it. Nothing. Just basic hints here that we could see a little something there. KMA, let's take a look at that. It's been pretty decent the last few years. And here's our low pressure, the 29th and 30th. And there's our little bump right here on the 3rd and 4th, and it doesn't really do much with it. So all of them are showing a wave. The dust map, ironically, is still kind of showing some. So this could still be dusty, dry air to deal with. The 29th, about right here. So there, you look for little breaks in the dust, and really this one's not showing much at all. This is the 31st, so it'd be somewhere in this mess right here. So that's a pretty big plume following it, if that does hold out. I mean, there's the 3rd, so if anything, it'd be right in front of this big plume of dust, chasing it like a snake. You can kind of actually see it coming off of Africa there, the 30th right there. So that's all we got, man. Just watching models, history. I don't see any. I got some storms up north today, Friday. Mainly wind, but we got some, storms possible way up north today. New Jersey, Maryland. All right, who did I miss? Anybody miss me? Got it? Oh yeah, 3 days a week, 5 days a week, pretty much now. I'm okay. We're okay, Elizabeth Mack. St. John, Virgin Islands. No, Jessica. See, first off, come on now. It's going to rain regardless, at least one day. It always rains this time of year. But maybe the 2nd, and then it'll be gone by the 5th. Gus, what's up, buddy? Boy, you're everywhere. I see you over on YouTube. Thanks, Gus. You'll be all right. I mean, unless this thing develops, then definitely want to watch. See, this is why we talk it. This is why we talk long range. Jessica's going to Virgin Islands on the 30th through the 5th. Everybody say hi. So around the 2nd-ish, there could be a little something, tropical brewing close to you. So, Lobama, Dorothy, you in Alabama? You're welcome, Steve. What's up, buddy? Should have a good day, I hope. Anyway, all right, that's about it for me. Let's see what the Brew Crew is talking about. Hey, Katie Haley, what's up? I've yet to wear my shrimp shirt. I'm saving it for a special day, by the way, and then I'm going to take a picture. My Brew Crewers love me, and they got me a shirt on our cruise about the shrimp incident, the great shrimp incident during Isaiah. Actually, I need to talk to Bob about that in Fox Weather. I think I might share that as a funny story because I'm the only one in history, I think, that had to get my thumb operated on because I had shrimp shell tail. Ugh. At the sandbar. Anybody know the sandbar over there? Cocoa Beach area? Golly, I'll never forget that. I was peel and eat shrimp, and I obviously didn't peel it enough, and I went to grab it, and I got a big old tail on my thumb, and I went to pull it out, and it broke off, and I'm like, it'll be all right. It hurt. It hurt so bad. Like 2 or 3 days went by, I couldn't even use the mouse. I'm working the mouse like this. My thumb, and I finally went to the doctor. They had to cut it. Ooh, they had to dig it out. I had to get a stitch for a shrimp. Storm chasing is dangerous. Everybody's always warning me to, go indoors. And the only time I ever got hurt storm chasing was by a shrimp tail. Hey, somewhere, Amanda, in that sandbar, there's a couple Mike's Weather Page stickers I put on the wall. Well, it was more my. It wasn't really the emergency room, Bobby. It was the my normal doctor, and he laughed at me. I felt so silly. Does anybody ever have their doctor laugh at them? Mike, have a great one, buddy. Now, TikTok's funny. Somebody just KAE just became the number 33 fan in the fan club. I guess I have a fan club over there. I have no idea what this is all about. But so anyway, cool. Anything else we need to talk about? And then we'll go. Hot next week. Let me show you that real quick. Just kind of show you the heat. Just interesting. I'm going to do it on the blended models here. Highest even see in North Carolina. Holy cow, they're looking at mid-hundreds, middle week. That's your area, Bobby Blobby. So here's the temperatures. Look at that, 100. This is Monday. This is Sunday. We've got 102 up there in middle South Carolina. Look at these hundreds. White is hundreds, basically. It is Wednesday, 100 in Carolina still. We got a little cool down in Florida. Little cool down. Then it kind of goes. Look at that. Then it goes away. So, but this is crazy heat. This is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then it's latter part of next week. It starts to disappear. And then we'll look at rainfall, daily rainfalls. Not that button. Total rainfall. 24-hour rainfall. Here's today. Basically just showing you through the weekend here. Not a lot of rain Monday. Tuesday. This is all high pressure. Man, this is all the way to Tuesday. Look at this wraparound rain starting to come back around. Watch this. Then the rains slowly start coming in toward the end of the week. Thursday, Friday. Then a little bit more rain next Friday. And there's that front kind of coming down and three-peat is next Saturday. So look at that. I mean, almost nothing. Total nothing. Here's your 5-day rainfall. Basically nothing. Enjoy. Joy. God, Marianne, yeah, I believe it. 100 degrees at least. Story to tell, Bobby. Bobby, you got to go on our cruise. They have a Jimmy Buffett speakeasy on the Margaritaville that nobody knows about. It is the most awesome room on the ship. Rainfall, well, almost nothing. I really thought we were going to see more rain. Well, I never posted anything. But again, I'm not, I don't go outside what the models are saying. And we really never had much rainfall. We have a lot of precipitable water in the air, but just look at that. Here's your rainfall. This is very little rainfall. I mean, a couple pockets of 2-3 inches maybe. But as far as, and this is, that's rain. Yeah, we'll have some flash flooding there in eastern Texas, but not like we saw with other systems. It's going to dry up really quick. That high pressure is going to absorb all that moisture and put it somewhere. Where does all that moisture go? But anyway, not a lot of rain. Texas rains, just showing up a little bit. I mean, this is all the next couple days. By Sunday, look at Sunday. Sunday, it's gone. Just trust me, it's gone. So the Texas rains are today and tomorrow. Sunday, it's pretty much gone. So there you go. All right. So here we go. We're going to sign off. If there's anything changing, I'm going to do a little video later today on the Tropics. I'm going to wait till the 12Z models come out and all the ensembles. So we'll do a little 90-second reel later today. And that means you too, TikTok. I want to share an awesome post about Furman. They donated like 200 and some generators to a charity the other day. And I didn't realize they donate a lot of stuff, a lot of generators. So probably going to start posting. Might make a page just for that. All the good that our sponsors do for the storm communities. So props to Furman for that, helping out. I thought it was a typo. I thought it was 24 generators. It was like 244 or something. All right. So we're back 100% live on Monday, and we'll be watching Tropics all season long. I'm going to Daytona for NASCAR race in about a month, but we'll have Starlink, and we'll be reporting there. Hopefully we don't have any systems. If you recall, Talladega, every update was from Talladega, morning and night, as we tracked Milton, and I even left Sunday morning we left during Talladega because the storm was coming. So now we have Starlink. Luckily, we can stream any time, any place. So, all right. Have a great weekend. All right. See you.